Well, hello. Hope you're good. We're in another coffee shop. This time we're over near King's Cross. Now, if you're thinking back and you've been a watcher of the channel for some time, you'll know that we have done a coffee shop over in King's Cross. But the last one we did was in King's Cross Station. Now, I've been meaning to do this one for a little while, and there's a reason for that. There's a really good cause behind it as well. So I'm really hoping the coffee is as good as the cause. So we're in Cold Drops Yard, which is just behind King's Cross Station, and I've already put a map up to show you whereabouts that is. And if you're coming to King's Cross and you're coming to this area of London, or King's Cross and Pancras, then you need to come over to Cold Drops Yard and Granary Square, whatever the time of year, because it's just one of those little places with little shops, never busy, never overly packed. Just one of those places you can really, really enjoy. And we've been over here shooting a Christmas video, so it gives you an idea when this is shot, because I know this is coming out in the new year. So we're over here, we're in a place and a coffee shop called Redemption Roasters. Now, the reason why it's called Redemption Roasters is because the coffee is actually roasted in prison. So they get prisoners to get involved and do it. And you'll see from some of the stats that we've already shown you in the first part of the benefit of doing that. Now, Redemption Roasters, there are a few around London, and when I say a few, it's probably about 3 or 4 of them. But it's one of those places, and I have been to this coffee shop before, but a long time ago, so I can't remember what the coffee is like. I remember it wasn't horrible, otherwise I wouldn't have come anywhere near. You know when you've had a coffee and it scarred you? Yeah, so we're there for that. Now, really hope you're enjoying what we've done so far. I hope you've enjoyed the Christmas ones as well. And I also hope you've enjoyed the ones where we've been reviewing coffee with other people, because that is a definite way to go. So really been enjoying that, and more about that at the end of the video. Just as a reminder, we are going to independent coffee shops across London so we can test out the coffee, so you don't need to. There you go. We're avoiding the Starbucks, etc., because they're on every street corner, and actually the coffee in it is not fantastic, although we will be going in those at some point and doing a tasting just to see what they're like, so we can give you a score on those as a sort of a comparison. So it's like, you always say that, Steve, but what are they like? Yeah, well, we will score those. So it just gives you an idea of that one. Okay, so Redemption Roasters, Cold Drops Yard, fantastic place to come, but is the coffee good? And I'm looking forward to having a mince pie after as well, so I'll tell you what that's like. So, should we go for it? Why not? Okay, so first of all, let's go for the aroma. Oh, wow. Now, this is a Santa's Christmas blend, by the way. So it's one that they've created. It's normally the house blend, but it's one they've called Santa's Christmas blend. And it smells very nice. Now, I would say, the first bit of the aroma, I would say, is quite a deep smell, sort of a deep roasting smell. So you can almost smell the roasting of the bonfire. But then when it disappears, sort of disappears quite quick, and it almost leaves you with a fruity smell. So the aroma, I would say, is one that's changing. So you get an initial one, but then when you give it a good go again, you get a slightly different one. So for that, because that's a really interesting aroma, I'm going to stick a 5 on that for the aroma. So, wow, Christmas spirit must be out. But actually, do you know what? If it deserves it, as this one does, we're going to go 5 for the aroma. Okay, I am making notes because I do have a habit of forgetting at times what we've got. Okay, so that's the aroma. Next, let's go for the acidity and the sweetness. Oh my God. I'll tell you what this coffee reminds me of. If you remember way back when, and actually I'll put a link to it at the end, I went to a Korean coffee shop over near Spitalfields Market, and the coffee was completely different. It was like drinking a berry mixture. Do you know what? That has got that in it as well. That is madness. Right, so let's just go for that again. Right, so sorry, it was just taken aback with the taste there. So let's just go for the acidity and the sweetness. That is lovely. Right, acidity. There's a bit there. I can feel it. It is not assaulting the tongue. It's really funny because whilst there's a bit of acidity, you're really, really getting the fruit come through in it, and that is quite beautiful. So acidity, I'm going to give that a 5 because that is it's sort of assaulting the tongue in a really, really pleasant way. And you can always tell because when I'm doing the acidity and I keep drinking it, it's either because it's really rubbish and I'm trying to find something, or it's really good. That is lovely. That really is. And because of that, you've got some sweetness there as well. So for the sweetness, that's really nice. So the acidity is just gorgeous. I can still feel it on the tongue now. Oh, wow, that is lovely. For the sweetness, I'm going to give that a... I wasn't expecting it to be a bit sweeter, actually, considering the berries are coming through. So I was expecting a bit more on the sweetness on it. I didn't say it's because it to taste, like all coffee tasty is, it is to your own personal taste. But for the sweetness, I'm going for a 3 on that one because it's not quite where I was sort of expecting it, if that makes sense. I think my expectations and what I got are two completely separate things. So, wow. Okay. Amazing. Next, right, we're going to go for the body next. Now, the body's going to be quite interesting because I've noticed already it's not one of those that sort of swirls around and keeps. So, let's go for the body. Right, so for the body, just have a look at the side there. It's holding a little bit, but it's not holding much at all. It's not holding too much. In fact, it's hardly holding at all. So for the body of the coffee, I've had to give that a 3 because I've had certainly better bodies. Can't get over the taste of it though. That is quite something. This is what's going to carry this coffee through. Certainly is. Such a funny coffee because sometimes you go to these and smell sort of the film on the top. I remember Rhonda picking that up once going, oh, I knew that was going to be a really good coffee. With that on the top, that sort of gets you. But this is really nice. Finish, because it sort of sets an expectation that it doesn't quite get to with both the body. If the body was a bit more and the sweetness was a bit more, then for me, then that would be sort of perfect. But for me, that's a 4. So there you go, that gets a 4 out of 5. Now remember, all of these are scored out of 5, all these scores, and then got a total score out of 25. So we're looking 2, 4, so actually on 20. So it's an excellent coffee, don't get me wrong, Redemption Roasters. And actually, it is so good. I am very, very tempted, one, to go back and get another one, but also to buy a bag of it, because that is glorious. That is a really nice coffee. Well, yeah, it's a small one. I didn't look at the price actually, because obviously I've got a mince pie, so £6.45. But I am going to get another medium black Americano. That is fantastic. And then once I've got that, I'm going to come back and have the mince pie. That is a cracker over here at Cold Drops Yard. That is really nice. Lovely. Right, let's go get another one. Right, so you know how it goes. If I get a second cup of coffee, you know how good it is. So this is a 20 and it's brilliant. And I've also bought a bag of it as well. So this has been not pre-Christmas, so I bought a bag of it to take home to have over Christmas on. We're looking forward to that. Oh, amazing. And the other thing, whilst I've been here, I bumped into a lady who's sitting by the side of me and said, what are you doing? And she's giving me other great recommendations. So, Aveen, if you're watching this, a massive, massive thank you. Really appreciate it. I look forward to going to try Coffee Can in Kingston, as well as at other places as well. Amazing. Loving this. Right, let's go for the mince pie. Oh, oh my God. That's a nice meat pie as well. Now, oh, that is a rather lovely one. Right, but we're here for the coffee. So, all that's left to say is thanks so much for watching. I think it was called 15 to 1 or something like 5 to 1 or something like that. Anyway, I'm going to put that on the top right-hand corner for you. Also, don't forget, if you're in London, fancy meeting up, doing a coffee tasting together, absolutely love doing that. Please do not hesitate to contact me. Drop me a message, and if we can get a diary to coincide, let's do it, because that would be amazing. So really appreciate it. So that's Redemption Roasters. Can't recommend it highly enough. Behind King's Cross and Pancras, and a beautiful area as well. So come on down to here for that one. Anyway, enjoy 5 to 1 or 15 to 1 or whatever it is. I can't remember the really brilliant Vietnamese coffee by Spitalfields Market, and that's in the top right hand corner. Click on that. I'll see you in there. Take care. Cheers for watching. Bye.